How's it going with Jerry Dixon these days?
Hey, everything's real good. Everything's been a good year for the most part, and we're just ready to rock and roll into 2012 pretty soon here.
Guaranteed. And Down Boys Records, how's that doing?
Well, it's been very really cool. It's kind of interesting to put the shoe on the other foot and actually start working with artists and also being an artist and stuff. So it's kind of a trip, but it's really fun to kind of find new music though, and to kind of help people, get all their ducks in a row and get their songs registered and get some of their old legal stuff cleared up, and so it's kind of self-gratifying in a way, and fun, musically as well.
So like that you guys help with your footsteps, helping other people secure something good.
Yeah, it was mainly, I got to be honest, like the main, the whole thing was really founded out of frustration. It was founded out of just doing this so long and realizing that a record label is not, I don't know, like the vision of what people think of a record label as is just, it's not true. It's not, the thing is you get a record deal, you do the record, you get all this promotion for a month, and then that's it, Like you're just chucked aside, and then they own you for 5 years, and it just, that part of it just frustrated us so much, and, we just, people deserve more than that. These are like people's lives and careers, and they need someone that's not going to give up on certain things, and you got to stick with it. You got to hammer it, for years, if not more than that, especially on new artists.
And you guys just don't do hard rock and metal. You guys do everything, like even hip hop. Where does that come from?
Well, we haven't got into that yet, but we're definitely willing to listen to it. I think one thing that we're kind of basing this whole thing off too. There's another side to the record label, which is it's the music placement side of things. So, what we're trying to do is gather, take all the artists, including Warrant and our stuff too, and basically take the song from one basket and spread it around. Put it in a placement basket, put it in a record basket, a compilation basket, and you never know. Some artists may sell millions of records, and other artists may sell 0 records, but maybe they get in a lot of TV and film stuff. So, it just seems like with the digital world, everything, it just makes sense to us to have it all under kind of one umbrella. But, so, we need rap, we need country, we need bluegrass. We'd like to have, a little bit of everything.
And what's your take on the whole industry itself, the record industry? How is it drifting towards today, in your eyes?
Well, I think for people like us, if you're kind of starting out, it's a really exciting time. If you're Sony Records that, bought, 20-story office buildings back in the 80s and had, 10,000 employees and worked off the hard copy model, you're probably, they're going to have a different opinion on it than we do. But, we kind of feel that the playing field's even. It's all just a matter of hard work now. Anybody can release a record, and it's a matter of, really hitting the streets like we did in the old days and promoting something and making people aware of it. And if you can do that, I think that we've got as good a chance as anybody into breaking an artist. And so that, without investing and losing everything we own, like the old days,
Right.
And, if we do hit a home run, too, we guarantee that, these artists that we're with are going to be rich. We're not stealing their money. We're, part of our operation is to explain things and explain how royalties work and educate artists on where all the money goes to,
Are you guys gonna go like worldwide with this type of deals? Like, it's gonna be internet based mostly?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we're doing our digital distribution is worldwide, and our physical distribution's worldwide as well. Yeah, I mean, we really feel, the world it's just shrinking, and it's becoming one, it's becoming one place, so people, in Canada and people in Russia and people in Australia, they want to buy product too. They want to listen to new bands, and they want to listen to old bands. They want that stuff to be accessible to them as well, Like the U.S. is just a dot on the map compared to the whole world,
Another product too we saw in 2011, the Rockaholic Warrant.
Yeah, dude, Rockaholic did and is still doing. It's probably our biggest selling record since Cherry Pie. And again, that just that attributes just a lot of legwork and a lot of groundwork. We didn't spend millions of dollars promoting it. We just we really went back to the roots of just online stuff and YouTube and Facebook and just letting people hear the music, giving it away where we could, selling it for like $9 or $10 at shows, and really getting the record into people's heads, where they're like, God, I need that song. I can't get away from it,
And to return on Down Boys Records, let's say this company, how can people send their music to you, let's say?
The best way to get a hold of us is just send us a link. They can go to downboysrecords.com, and there's an email address. It's team@downboysrecords.com. And, we listen to music all day. Just, best advice, just send a link to your music. Your music can be up on MySpace or Facebook, and we'll check it out. We've already found like three new artists in the last couple weeks. So it's there's tons of good music, whether you're just starting out or you've been around a long time and want a fresh perspective on not only how to sell records, but like I said, to get while the records are kind of stewing on the internet and being sold, we're working these songs to TV and film, and there's other avenues for music, not just people have the closed-minded that we're just going to sell records and nothing else. Well, there's a whole the whole side of it that people don't see that we're and we need all kinds of music. It can be your standard rock, or it could be really freaky, kind of crazy voiceover stuff. Anything that's interesting is always good.
Good stuff. Well, Jerry, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Look forward to seeing this Down Boys Records going all the way.
Yeah, man, we're definitely here to stay, and we're excited about it. And we'll be releasing stuff just about every week from now until eternity.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just kind of like I said, we're an outlet to release your stuff, and I know it's like a different alternative to like CD Baby and a lot of these digital things that people are kind of doing at home. Mm-hmm. The problem is you're not reaching like 80% of the world with those distributors. So the distributor we're with is massive. It's like the biggest one in the world. So that alone helps, and then the guitar stuff is fantastic for commercials, and I don't know if you watch reality TV, like you just all day long you hear these little guitar things and drum things, and you're like, well, I could have done that, Mm-hmm. So you never know, man. Okay, all right, cool, bud.
All right, talk soon.
Okay.